I've started doing the dam here, and I'm stepping the system in here. So I've got a couple steps here. You've got 1, 2, and 3, and I'm just in here for scale sizing. So, as I said, 3 steps there, and then we have this section down here, and just again for the scaling of this, right? So you've got this section up about this sort of height there, and what I'm doing is as I'm scraping down, and I'm actually using a mattock here, but I scrape on down and I'm building up as I scrape down, so I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone, as they say. So I cut into this section here, I scrape it on down, and I pile it up there. Now, of course, if you don't have a mattock, and that's basically, for those who don't know, it's a nice wooden handle, big steel thing, right, like that, so you can whack into the ground. If you don't have one of those, what you've got to do is you've got to wait for the rain, and the rain softens up the soil, and then you get in there with a casuarina digging stick. Small scale example, but you basically just scratch around like that, right? And then you get your hands like that, and you just keep on repeating like that, which is actually probably easier, to be honest, than the mattock. So with a big stick, this is actually quite efficient. And of course, casuarinas are very hard wood. So again, size comparison. Here's me, here's the wall. All right. So there's my mighty dam there, and it's actually holding, believe it or not. The neighbour's dam has overflowed up there, coming on down here. That is a fair dinkum rapids. Look at that. Far out. That is just gushing over. That is bloody amazing. Yeah, might be a bit of erosion. But all of this stuff here is now going to bring all these bits of sediments and little bits of fish. And that's going to fill in all the gaps down here. So that's all good stuff. And it might also dislodge a couple extra rocks that I can use. So that's all good stuff. Far out. And strong swimming animals can actually swim upstream during these times, like platypus and crayfish and so forth. Very impressive. This area here, only up to about ankle deep, but further in there I'd be up to about my waist. Far out. Yeah, there's a lot of sand sediment actually at the bottom that I can feel. Far out. Oh, that's bloody amazing. That is phenomenal. Alrighty, so after a record 390 millimeters of rain in a 3-day period, our dam is now quite full. This was cascading over before, and I'll get on in there in a second to show you a little bit of how deep this actually is. Now, I've been adding a few extra rocks to this, and then scooping in a whole bunch of the sediment that's actually deeper down in there, and piling that up to stop the water flow. So there you go. That's actually a lot deeper right about here, but there's now about a foot deep of sediment here. So I would actually be about this deep in it if I get my legs really into that sediment. Whoop. This is a great time to actually add to the wall, and this is something you'll find often happens in building in a natural way. Is that you're kind of governed by the seasons and the rainfall. The rain has washed down a lot of sediment here, and so we've got a deep amount of sediment here. And so it's a lot looser and easier on the hands at the moment to be able to grab large amounts of that and plonk that in like that. The reason for the big rocks is because they hold the smaller rocks and the sediment in place. The reason for the sediment is because it fills in all the little gaps between the rocks. So we'll show you another angle now. So, as you can see, this middle section right in here is actually blocking water quite well. These side sections are letting the water out, and that's fine because we're going to be filling those up a bit more. And just so you can gauge, voila! There you go. That's a good height up to there. And as I said, a couple big rocks. And a whole bunch of sediment. In the middle of the stream, we've got a whole bunch of smaller rocks that have washed in. And again, they're really good for holding the sediment in place. But you get the basic idea.